Episode 8, The Martial World Unveiled. The morning sun painted the town of Hoshinawa in shades of gold, its light falling on the grand arena at the city's heart. The structure was massive, carved from stone that gleamed as though it had been polished by 1,000 hands. Tier upon tier of steps curved upward, and every seat overflowed with townsfolk, merchants, wandering travelers, and children eager to see the martial world brought to life. The noise was overwhelming. Vendors shouted over one another, waving trays of sweet buns, grilled skewers, and roasted meats. Children darted between adults, waving paper flags painted with the proud emblems of their favorite dojos. Elders sat in clusters, their voices hoarse as they argued over the outcomes of fights not yet begun, recalling legendary duels from tournaments long past. Today was not an ordinary contest. Today it felt as if the very eyes of the martial world were fixed on Hoshinawa. The Overseer. At the center of the arena, standing tall though his body had withered with age, was Elder Kuroda. His hair was long and white, tied neatly behind him, and though his frame looked frail, his presence alone silenced tens of thousands. He lifted one hand, and the roar of the crowd dwindled into stillness. Kuroda's wrinkled face bore the weight of centuries. His eyes, sharp as ever, swept across the gathered disciples. When he spoke, his voice was not loud, but it carried to every corner of the arena, steady as iron.
"Disciples of Hoshinawa,"
he declared.
"Today you do not fight for blood nor vengeance. You fight for honor. You fight for the pride of your masters. You fight for the spirit of this town."
The crowd erupted into cheers so thunderous that the stone beneath their feet trembled. Kuroda raised his hand again. Silence returned, quick and absolute.
"The rules are as follows,"
he said.
"Each dojo has sent forth 2 disciples. They will be paired against another school. First, they fight one-on-one, disciple against disciple. Should each dojo claim 1 victory apiece, the victors will meet again in a tiebreaker. The side that triumphs will advance. If both disciples of one dojo claim victory, both shall proceed. No killing is permitted. Victory is by knockout, or if your opponent cannot rise within 10 counts. Ki, weapons, techniques, all are permitted. Let strength, spirit, and discipline decide."
At his signal, drums thundered like rolling storms, echoing across the sky. The tournament had begun. The arena awakens. The disciples lined up in formation, banners fluttering above them like waves. Each dojo's colors swayed in the morning wind, scarlet flames, white cranes, stormy blues, and the deep black of iron. The crowd responded in waves of cheers and clapping, some shouting names of their favorite schools, others making wagers in hushed tones. "Do you feel it?" a traveler whispered to another. "This is more than a town tournament. Scouts from the capital are here. Even envoys from the hidden sects may be watching." The Youth Martial Tournament was no small event. For the chosen few, this was a gateway, a first step toward regional contests, secret trials, perhaps even the path to immortality itself. Every disciple in the arena knew it, and so did the crowd. When the first match was called, even the air seemed to hold its breath. The early matches. The Lotus Bloom Dojo struck first. Their disciple May whirled across the platform, her kicks slicing the air like petals in a storm. Her opponent staggered, and with a final spinning strike to the jaw, he collapsed. Victory came swiftly, and the crowd roared. Her partner, Shiori, followed with patience and grace. She let her opponent exhaust himself, parrying until he could barely stand, then toppled him with a simple redirect. The Stone Ridge Dojo thundered next. Haru stepped forward, his frame built like a mountain. His fist crashed into a wooden sparring shield, shattering it in one blow before sending his opponent flying into the dust. The arena shook with each strike. Riku, his fellow disciple, charged like a bull, ramming his opponent with such force the boy bounced twice before lying motionless. Storm Fang Dojo dazzled the crowd. Tenshiro blurred from one side of the arena to the other, striking faster than the eye could follow. His partner Ren struck with palm after palm, each blow echoing like thunder until his opponent could no longer stand. Match after match, styles collided. Grace faced raw strength. Speed clashed with patience. The crowd roared with every victory, gasped at every knockout. Sparks of ki lit the air, and dust rose from shattered tiles. The martial world unveiled itself, one strike at a time. Silver Dragon Dojo enters. Finally, Elder Kuroda's voice rang out.
Silver Dragon Dojo versus Lotus Bloom Dojo.
The arena hushed, then erupted in cheers. All eyes turned to Master Ryuzin's disciples, especially Shin, the boy whispered about in secret corners of the city. "That's him," murmured a merchant. "They say Ryuzin found him abandoned. Gifted, but unstable. Look at his eyes, too steady for a child." Shin's match. The first bout was Shin versus Mei. They bowed. Mei's smile was confident, almost playful. "You look calm," she teased, "but composure won't save you." Shin's answer was quiet.
"We'll see."
The drum boomed. Mei struck like lightning, her kicks snapping one after another. The first rattled Shin's guard, the second swept his legs, the third slammed into his ribs, sending him sprawling across the platform. Gasps rippled through the arena. Elder Kuroda's voice counted.
1, 2, 3.
Shin groaned, clutching his ribs.
Too fast. Her rhythm is like water.
4, 5, 6.
Ryuzin's voice echoed in his memory.
The dragon does not fear the storm. It is the storm.
At 8, Shin rose, unsteady but resolute. Mei darted forward, her leg whipping toward his head. This time, Shin ducked. He stepped inside her guard, and golden ki flared along his fist.
Dragon fist.
His punch struck her midsection. For an instant, a dragon's head shimmered around his arm. Mei's eyes widened. Then she crumpled to the floor, breath gone.
10, out.
Elder Kuroda declared. The arena erupted. The quiet boy had revealed his storm. Taro's match. The next fight, Taro versus Shiori. "Don't blink!" Taro shouted, charging like wildfire. His fists came fast, reckless, overflowing with energy. But Shiori's elegance held. She twisted, caught his arm, and slammed him into the floor. The crowd counted, but Taro laughed, slamming his palms into the ground and leaping back to his feet. "Not done yet!" he roared. Again and again he charged, forcing Shiori backward. But her patience never faltered. At last she spun, her palms striking his chest with perfect timing. The air left his lungs in a rush. He collapsed. This time the count reached 10.
Winner Shiori.
The crowd cheered. The score stood at 1 each. The tiebreaker.
Now,
Elder Kuroda announced.
the victors will decide the round. Shin versus Shiori.
The air grew heavy. Shiori exhaled, her eyes sharp. "You've beaten Mei, but I won't fall." The drums sounded. Shiori struck first, weaving elegantly, parrying Shin's fists. But Shin's movements were sharper now, his ki burning hotter. Step by step, he pressed her back. At last, he leapt, his fist blazing gold. The dragon's maw erupted again, crashing against her guard. The force blasted her across the arena floor. She slid, breathless, unable to rise.
10, out. Silver Dragon Dojo advances.
Kuroda's voice shook the arena. The crowd roared Shin's name. "Shin! Shin! Shin!" closing. As the sun dipped low, the first day ended. Weary disciples limped from the stage. Victors raised their arms high. But Raizen of Iron Fang stood apart. His crimson eyes glowed like fire. He had crushed his opponents with terrifying ease, each strike merciless and final. When his gaze found Shin across the arena, Shin felt a chill that pierced deeper than fear. Elder Kuroda raised his hand one last time.
Tomorrow, the semifinals begin. Rest well, warriors of Hoshinawa. Tomorrow, destiny sharpens its blade.
The drums thundered, the crowd roared, and the night swallowed the city in anticipation.